Ripple is behind one of the biggest deals in the crypto world that just happened. Brad Garlinghouse bought Hidden Road for $1.25 billion today. This is one of the biggest deals in the history of crypto. First, what is Hidden Road? What do they do? What does this mean for Ripple and XRP in the long run? Also, do you think this is exciting? I am going to talk about all of those things and more. You will know everything there is to know about Hidden Road by the time you leave this video for the world of crypto. See how David Schwartz feels. I feel like Monica Long did. Jake Claver also put together a thread about why this is going to be very, very important. Let's get right to it, shall we? We did know that it was the most important thing ever. There's a lot of money at stake in this crypto deal. But that's not the most important thing. The deal is a once-in-a-lifetime chance for crypto to get into the biggest and safest standard markets, and it also works the other way around. Brokers of choice. Along with other important tasks that were usually handled by banks, Hidden Road has become the go-to partner for the biggest hedge funds, market makers, over-the-counter OTC traders, quant traders, and more. Hidden Road has worked with Ripple for many years. We also know that they clear $3 trillion every year for up to 300 financial companies around the world, thanks to their wide range of skills and experience. In this case, XRP will be used for capital and activities that make it possible for instant, efficient, scalable, and low-cost managing of value to move around. Instead of having to wait 24 hours for fiat rails trades to settle, Hidden Road will use XRPL to clear some trades. As a result, it will use RLUSD as collateral for all of its prime trading services, which include trades and instruments that cross crypto and fiat assets. Man, that's why they've worked for them for years. Ripple knows how important they are to their business. And turning this around is really cool. Right? What will Ripple do with this partnership now that it's in place? Are they going to go after some of these banks that didn't want to work with Ripple at first? Does this put Ripple in charge? Or can these banks that don't want to work with a crypto company? Are they going to use something else instead? That sounds really interesting, so I want to know more about it. Okay, thanks to this deal and Ripple's strong balance sheet, Hidden Road will be able to service its flow much more quickly and easily, making it one of the biggest non-bank prime brokers in the world. Oh no. When Brad says something like that, I wish I had a microphone I could drop right away. That was really deep. Okay, and if you want to know what Prime Brokers is, this was made by Chad Seamgrabber, so big thanks to him too. Prime traders and their key are pretty much just repeating what Brad said here. Please find the story from payments below. With this purchase, Ripple is the first cryptocurrency company to own and run a multi-asset prime exchange. They are the first, but they won't be the last. As DeFi and CeFi, traditional banking, TradFi and DeFi merge, this is going to be very important in the future for getting money into and out of the system. That's why I don't need to read this whole thing to you. A lot of the things we just talked about are interesting. After looking at the market share of the top 10 steady coins, it seems like more than 90% of the tokens and new coins are priced in US dollars, right? We now know how important the US dollar is and how important the crypto area is to the US government right now. The U.S. Treasurer, Scott Bassett, told us how important it is for stable coins and the safety of the U.S. dollar through stable coins. Okay, Joe Katz. This is what David Schwartz basically says. Ripple's purchase of Hidden Road is a turning point for the XRP system and the XRP. Okay. The prime broker clears more than $10 billion in trades every day and handles more than 50 million traction deals on different traditional rails, sometimes having to wait up to 24 hours for those trades to settle. Now picture even a small part of those things happening on the XRP system. That's exactly what Hidden Road wants to do. You need deals, which is why this is so important. You need value to keep coming into Ripple like these, I don't know, stops on the way to the end goal. Right? Since it keeps getting stronger, it seems likely that it will keep adding companies to its list. It wouldn't surprise me if this is the only thing you hear from Ripple this summer. I think they'll be out here all summer making more deals. Monica Long said that the main goals of both Ripple and Hidden Road are the same: to create a better financial system that lets money or value move around the world without getting stuck in closed gardens. Walled gardens are a jab at the current financial system where no one is on the same record. If you've been following crypto for a while, you know this. It takes a long time because everyone is using something different. There is a lot of friction, and if those walled areas were taken down, everything would be linked. Okay, so in the past, decentralized finance was made up of pieces of rails and big companies. But so far, crypto natives have made it their main focus. We have a chance to get rid of those walls. So far, not many goods have been aimed at OTC desks, quant traders, or hedge funds. So this would be a way for Ripple to show that they can link traditional banking and DeFi, and that will be a great show when it happens. Okay, so for the first time, an institutional investor can use Hidden Road to post more than one type of collateral, such as crypto and tokenized assets, and soon RLUSD. They can also trade with more than 100 venues and liquidity providers that support more than 1,000 assets in FX, crypto, fixed income, and other areas. With risk management, this is not an easy thing to do these days. That and posting on the XRP ledger at the same time. When it comes to trade settlement in the future, the options are huge. In the coming weeks, I'll have a lot more to say about something that was once just a thought but is now a fact. But for now, I'd like to thank everyone who worked to make this deal happen. Thanks to the Ripple team. You can see that this is also being shown on CNBC International. You know that Jack the Ripper put this, but you know what? First, let's look at this. I believe this is worth a look. Jake Claver now has his own YouTube account. I really think you should check out Jake, really nice guy. He says that Hidden Road works with 300 banks and handles 10 billion transactions every day. What happens when think about that. Big banks and other financial institutions use XRPL to do what it was made to do. When even a small part of the daily 10 billion XRP value starts to trade through the XRP ledger, demand goes through the roof. There are no regular sellers here. These are hedge funds, and people who run markets will buy a lot of XRP because they need it to run their businesses. All of Hidden Road's prime brokerage goods will be able to use RLUSD as collateral. It is the first stable coin that lets digital assets and standard markets trade with each other across margins. I really don't say that in a single line very often. If you cross-enable, just still getting off of all the drugs. Okay. Relax, be nice. Concerns about risk efficiency and regulatory issues have been eased by this purchase. We use XRP for quick settlement, RLUSD for safe collateral, and Ripple's more than 60 licenses to make sure we follow the rules. Keep in mind that compliance is the very least you need to do when working with these kinds of banks and financial companies. If these things aren't built into everything you do every day, Ripple wants you to come to their meeting. Everything they do with their banking system has compliance built in. That's the most important thing that Ripple has always believed in and shown how seriously they take following the rules. Okay. As rules become clearer and institutional interest grows, Ripple now provides a complete solution that covers trade execution, financing, and settlement. All of these services are driven by XRP and RLUSD and are part of the same ecosystem. With instant settlement on the XRP ledger compared to traditional markets that run 24 hours a day, this is a total change. Or maybe it's a typo. By buying a prime broker with a history of good relationships, institutions will be able to handle post-trade processes in a whole new way. Ripple just took down that wall. These clients already put billions of dollars in Hidden Road. They will now also accept XRP. They'll just move, right? Settlement costs are cut by a huge amount when you use XRPL. These saves allow Hidden Road to offer better services to its clients at a lower cost. Who would say no to saving money on a large